Hello to everyone. Thank you, Raz, and to let us doing a great event like this on finance operation. So yeah, like you said, I'm Microsoft MVP. It's very recent. It's just 1 month now, but so yeah, today for this first session, I will present how we can automate all your tests with Dynamics 365 with regression suite automation tool. And I've got a little surprise with the Power Platform in this session also. So yeah, as you said, Raz, I'm really involved to help customer or partners to leverage Dynamics 365 of finance operation with the whole Power Platform, because I think the session before was very great because it's just one example, but you can have a lot of more example with Power Platform with finance operation. So just a little presentation of myself. So if you have a phone, a mobile phone in your hand, I suggest you to grab your phone, and you can scan my QR code to grab my social network. So you can really doesn't matter. I will accept everyone on Twitter, LinkedIn, etc. So I've got a new. I created a YouTube channel. So recently, at this time, it's really for the French people. But I will add a lot of content in English very soon. So feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. So more than 1,000 of subscribers yet. So really appreciate. So as I said, my Microsoft MVP business application. I've got a blog. Really suggest to go to my blog first because every content that I will present you, I've got already an article on my blog, so feel free to go there. As Raz said also, I'm working a lot on ERP, on finance operation, AX 2009 and 12, but also on CRM. So I've got 3 or 4 years on CRM experiences and a lot of AI. I like AI. So Power Platform Addict, of course. And organize a lot of weekly webinar in France and speaker for Europe also on 365 Saturday. So already been in London, Lisbon, France, etc. So I think it's done for my presentation. I got a lot of small homework for you guys, if you don't mind, before going to the presentation. If you just have 1 minute or less I'll just do a quick form on regression automation tool. So if you can scan or go directly to the link that I show, really appreciate. It's just anonymous, of course. I don't get any email or whatever personal data. It's just to have a communication between us because it's a virtual event. So I think it's great to do a quick form before going to the presentation. So if you go, I will let you. I think in 1 minute it's done. If you fill every information, I think I just have five questions. I think so. If you can just let me check if you have already. No, don't have any response yet. So you can scan or directly go to do this link. I will wait. I think 1 minute. So the question is very simple about this survey. It's just about if you already know regression suite automation tool, how many rollout you done in production for your customer, and how many days you spent on manual regression test. So it's just about to know how the community are working on about testing in finance operation. So I will wait a little bit. Maybe I don't know if Forms is great. Huh? Forms I think we have refresh automatically. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I don't know, Raz, if you can put also the link directly in the chat. It will be great. Thank you. Yeah, a lot of partner at this time. I got a lot of guys that know already regression suite, automation tool. Okay. Got a lot of response yet. Thank you, guys. Yeah, and I think the last question is the best for me and for you, of course, because yeah, the form, the survey. Maybe I can share it. I will share it. Maybe the result after the end of the session. So yeah, it's 1 day, 2 day. Yeah. So it will help me, of course, at the end to as you can see already, we have every month we have some customers that spent 3 to 5 days to test manually the test. Okay. How many people? Yeah, right. Not a lot of people, but a lot of days, I think. So as you will see, of course, after I will know, 21 response yet. Okay. Maybe at the end, I will, when you get all responses, I will share at the end the result, the final result. But thank you for the people that already respond. So the cost of the setup to implement at the start. Yeah, I think this is the most pain about automate testing. It's the cost at the start. I will share you this kind of thing, because at the beginning you will spend a certain amount of time, of course, to implement, configure all your automate testing, and after you will see that, of course, at the end, in long term, you will have a larger gain, because, of course, when it's all configured, you have just to launch it. So it's really helpful. And we have a lot of customers and partners that upgrade the version every month. So as I think you already see, but of course, with the version 10 of Finance Operation, we have every month new upgrade, new platform update. So of course, I don't know if you are on the same page as me, but of course you will have to test before doing the upgrade in production. So you have, of course, to do all regression tests before going to upgrade the production. Okay. We have half. Okay, great. Okay. So I will go because I didn't have a lot of time, but you can continue, of course, to respond to the survey. I will share at the end. So why we have to automate your tests? Yeah, good question. Huh? So I especially add the quote from Power Automate because as I said, I really like the Power Platform. So for me, the quote, it's of course to take care of what's important and automate every task you can do, especially, of course, your tests. Because like me, because I'm a partner, of course, I'm working with some customer in France of finance operation. So I think I am on the same page as you. I spent a lot of, not me particularly, but my colleagues, my friends spent a lot of times in some projects to test every time. I don't know. I think on certain project of mine, we do like two rollout of package every month, and we upgrade mostly 1 or 2 every month upgrade of finance operations. So I don't have yet the cost of all testing for the customer, but I think it's somehow a certain cost, and it's repetitive. You don't have. I think testing is not. It's not very famous because it's not very intelligent task. You repeat every time the same test. Sorry, to check if there is some bugs or regression. So yeah, it's not very funny, I think, to do that. So I got one graphics that I've made with one of my friends. So as I said, of course, when you do an automated regression test, the return of investment will be, of course, at the end, not at the beginning, will be much less than, of course, the manual regression, because, of course, the manual execution effort will be after 1-2 years, it will grow whenever you want. And of course, the automated task is much larger at the beginning, but with automated testing, you will just have to just change if you have new developments of your task recorder. I will show that after. But yeah, when it's done, I think you will not spend a lot of time to change all your automated testing. So really great. I will send maybe the PowerPoint at the end, but also I have a quick link here of my friends that have done a good article of the difference of manual testing or automation testing. What are the difference, the gaps between? So yeah, I will share maybe the link at the end also, if you want to, because I will not have the time to spend to present all of this stuff. But yeah, really automated testing. I already implement this for a customer this week. So it's I will have at the end of this presentation a real showcase with a real finance operation instance with a real regression test. So I think it's a good demonstration to show you for a real project how we can implement a regression tool. So which tool we have at this moment of this presentation? So we have some parts that I will also present at the end that are more on technical part for developers. It's the SysTest framework and the ATL. ATL is a new library. It's acceptance test library. So every time it depends, of course, on what you want to test. So the regression suite automation tool, RSAT, it's more on user side, because you will have to just for functional consultant or key user of your instance, they will have to go to finance operation instance, record every process they want to test automatically. At the end, you can grab and get the result of the task recorder and implement in the tool. For the other side, for the code, for developer, you can choose SysTest framework or acceptance test library. For SysTest framework, it's more like if you are a developer, you want to just test one special feature, one special development you have done before archive and push your development to the Git control. Yeah, it's really great normally because yeah, I spent a lot of time on a CRM project with C#, with .NET. When you have a lot of, in Visual Studio, you have a lot of unit testing. So for AX, for finance operation, I think it was not really implement for all project, I think. On my side, I see in my 10 experiences of finance operation, I didn't see a lot of unit testing from partners. Yeah, so I think for developers, I really suggest to every time you do a new development, of course, you want to test your development, and you can create a SysTest framework. So if you go to the Microsoft documentation, you will have a lot of course, explanation of how to implement SysTest framework, and also this new library of ATL. For ATL, it's more like testing all the whole components, a whole module of a whole process. SysTest framework is just for unit testing of one particular development. So you can do both, of course. Doesn't matter, but yeah. For regression suite automation tool, so how it works, the process behind. So first step, of course, it's really to record your test. So I will show you after, but of course, how we can record my test for before implement this. It's about task recorder. So yeah, task recorder, I think maybe if you are already in finance operation project, you already know this feature. Sometimes if you are on with the support team of Microsoft, sometimes they ask to record your process and send. It's like a log files, and he records every click, every every change of navigation, etc. So really helpful, the task recorder. After, we will upload this on the BPM of LCS. So BPM, it's the business process model library. So normally, before going to the implementation of the whole project of finance operation, it's the first step of your project, of course, because when you will go to the customer, you will ask what are the process behind the finance operation, what they want to do to the ERP, and after each process, you want to have one task recorder behind this business process, of course. And after that, of course, when you do that in demonstration with the customer, it will also help you to know if there is new requirement behind, if you need new developments before going to production. So, but you can implement business process model after go live. For some customers that I know, it was done after. But yeah, normally, if with the project manager, the good process in LCS before going live, it's of course to describe all your process behind finance operation. After all has been done in LCS, you can sync it directly to your Azure DevOps instance. So it will be the repository of all your automated testing, and you can sync it. And after, it will help you to create your test plan and your test suite, all your task case, etc. And after, you will install your regression suite automation tool, connect to your DevOps, and yeah. So, but I really don't like very much PowerPoint, so I think the better way is really to to show you directly how it works. Oh, sorry. So how it works.
Je regrette. Je n'ai pas bien entendu ce que vous avez dit.
Yeah, my Siri is launching lonely. So the regression suite automation tool. So at the start, of course, I can show you how it works, the task recorder, if you don't know this new feature. So you have to go, first best practice before going to record all your tests. It's really to go to the default dashboard. If you are, I don't know, if you go to sales order, I don't know, and you record at this time for the first step, your regression suite automation tool will fail every time. So first best practice, go to your default dashboard, and after that, yeah, you can create your task recorder. So here you can see I can create a new record. Just also another best practice for that, for the task recorder, you have already an extension for Google Chrome to capture every screenshot for that. I will maybe send a link. Yeah. So a guy really helpful. I don't know this guy, but it's really great. If you are going to Google Chrome, you can grab it, install it, and every time you will spend, if you don't install the extension, you will not have this option. So I really suggest to install in your Google Chrome this extension, because it will help you to also for task recorder. It's not just for testing. It also help you a lot about user training and user training documentation. So it's like, yeah, I will create all my task recorder for all my process, but also I can really gain a lot of times to not spend every time doing my user training documentation, to capture every screenshot. So I think you have spent, like me, a lot of times to do documentation and take screenshot. So you can do both in just one task recorder. And it will generate at the end a Word document with every screenshot. And you have just to add some description of every task, but yeah, really helpful. So if I create a new one, like test, okay, whatever. So as you can see, I am now, I can do going to sales order. So as you can see, it records all steps. I can go to a certain sales order. I can uncollapse some certain navigation. I can also, of course, I think it's great. You can have here, when you will have on the right of your mouse, if you click it, you have also task recorders option. So you can, every time you create a new task recorder, you can, as you see, click on validate of this field, and it will record this kind of information to know if you want to validate the field. You know, if you have done some new developments on sales order side, you have some business rule behind when certain fields have been mandatory or have been filled in the finance operation. You want to check if your custom fields are well populated, are well synced. So you can test every time information. And yeah, it's really great because you will see at the end, with the regression suite automation tool, you can validate fields. So it's not just to test the process and know if you have some errors, but every step you want, you can check some fields on the value, you know. So you can add it like this. So yeah, and at the end, of course, you click on stop, huh? And you can save on it on your PC. Okay, good. So now you have your task recorder, perfect. So I can go directly to LCS. And on LCS, I will jump to the business process model library. So how it works. So you can go there. So I can go there to business process modeler here. Okay. So you have, I think you have some business process model going coming from the Microsoft. As you can see, you have the global library, your corporate library. So it's more like for partners. And of course, you have your own project library for your own project of LCS. So I've got a real showcase for this customer when we have a lot of process behind. So sometimes, sorry, it's in French, but so yeah, we test a lot of, with regression tests, we wanted to, for the trade and logistics side, to test a lot of process behind this customer, this project. So when you want to add your task recorder, it's very simple. You can, I don't know, like this, add a child process. And when it's done, you have just to upload the trace file of the task recorder. And when it's done, you will see that every time the VSTS, Azure DevOps, it was not yet renamed by Microsoft, but of course VSTS, it's Azure DevOps. So it will be, of course, already sync all your tests, all your process directly to Azure DevOps. And yeah, so really this kind of thing, it's, yeah, as you can see, it's not technical, huh? It's really functional part here, the business process model. Just to show you also one more thing about business process model, but I think I can have also diagrams behind. So you can have you know, as you can see, it's all the process step behind the process on finance operation. I think you can have a visual behind, sorry. So yeah, it's really great also, not just for technical side, but really helpful for project manager or functional consultant. So when it's done, you can go directly to your Azure DevOps. So first things to know about Azure DevOps for the test plan. So you can see I have a part on test plan. It required this kind of feature. It requires a license for that. It's not free. But if you have, like me, a MSDN subscription, it's already in there, already included. Sorry. So just for the price, if you want to know, it's not very high. You just have to go there for the licensing part of Azure DevOps. So it's not required to have every user, of course, to have this license, because you will not launch every unit test for Regression Suite automation tool with multiple account. You can have like one admin account with the license that will launch the test. Okay, sorry, I will go switch to English. Okay, so I think it's cost 40 euros per month. So for this kind of thing, I don't. Yeah, basic plus test plan. Yeah, sorry, this is this one. Yeah, $52 per user per month. So yeah, it's more than the standard license. But yeah, no, if you have just one license for one administration account, it not cost at the end of the cost of the manual test compared to the manual testing. Of course, it's not it's not the same price. So when you have the license, like me, you can of course go directly to your test plan. So you can create you can create a lot of test plan, not just one. If you want maybe to separate your test plan from upgrade from you just roll out. I don't know if you for upgrade you want to test everything, and for the rollout you want to test just some tests and not all the tests. Of course, you can have create a new test plan, and a test plan it's just an aggregation of all the test cases you have created in your business process model in FCS. So here I have exactly the same list of the same process behind FCS, and it's already synced. So if I go there, of course, for just one example, so if you launch correctly, okay. So here you can see that in the test case, you have all the same process that was generated in the task recorder. So you have the description of the test, and behind the test, of course, you have your test suite. So here is the result that you will have after launching the test regression suite automation tool. So every time you can go there, you know if there are some failure, of course, or if it's okay. And if it's okay or not, you have all the summary and the log behind that will be synced after the regression suite automation tool has been launched. So you can have all process steps, and it's very, very helpful, I think, for developer also, because if you have a regression on some new developments on some process, you can manually create a bug linked to this test suite. And the developer will go there and say, okay, the failure was done at this certain part, and he can grab the log and know what has been done and what is the error behind. So if I go to some test that has been failed for me, like this one, I think, yeah. So this one, I've got some error. You can see all the process that has been done and the error message. So here for this test, the fail was the comparison field failed on based on some validated fields that I showed just before. So the task recorder wanted to check, I think it was failed on the receive of the purchase order. Normally we wanted to have one received of the product, and we two expected, and it was actual one. So the test failure was failed. So really, so you can see at this part, the validate was failed. So of course, after you can create a bug for the developer, and of course he can check what is going on. For the project manager, of course, you can have a progress report behind based on the test plan, of course. So it can really, for the project manager, to know for just one particular test plan, like going like a Power BI report. So you want to know how many tests has been already launched, how many has already failed, and if some has been, of course, passed. So yeah. So now we have all synced in the Azure DevOps. So now we have to launch the test regression suite automation tool. So in order to do that, you have to download it. Of course, it's an application. It's a standard legacy application. So of course, on the Microsoft documentation, you have all information, how to install, configure. Of course, I've done also an article on my blog, so really suggest to go there, to my blog. But yeah, you have all necessary information to how to set up the tool. But when it's done, you have, like me here, the regression suite automation tool. And you can just, like me, you have your exactly the same, as you can see, the same test plan on Azure DevOps. You can, I can maybe launch one. Of course, the best way will be to launch everything, but still, I will not launch every test. We don't have the time to do that. I will just test one test for you. But here you have the Excel file behind. So the Excel file is very important because it's here when you want to know. In fact, you can. I can show you that. I think no. I create new. Sorry. Shit. So yeah, you can create a derived test case. So it's really important if you want to. You have one task recorder for one process, but you want to test multiple parameters of input to know. Okay, it works for one legal entity, but somehow it can be it can not work for one other legal entity. You want to check for all legal entities that your process works, especially if you have localization behind on a certain country. So it's really important for one process to have I don't know multiple derived test case to just change the parameter file, the Excel parameter file, and to know if it works great. Okay, so I can maybe test for this one. So I will, when it's done, you can click on run. So yeah, I don't have the webcam, so I have the hand in the air. I don't touch anything on my keyboard. So as you can see now, Google Chrome is handled by the tool. I don't click on anything. So it will exactly launch the process, the task recorder, in fact, that I've recorded before. So normally if it works, great. So for that, it was just creating a master data, a vendor, I think. Okay, so as you can see, okay. It's not very fast. Right. Okay, so here the functional consultant has collapse, decollapse, uncollapse. Sorry, all the section. Okay. So at the end, it's finished, and when it's finished, it records and sent. As you can see, you have the valid or the result. So when it's failed, as you have seen before in Azure DevOps, you have all the log file. But if I go to my test plan, go back to my test plan, so it was a test on create vendor, I think. So as you can see just now, it's already a sync in Azure DevOps. So it's as every time you launch the tool, it will sync every information on Azure DevOps. So it will be the main repository of all the tests. So yeah, really helpful for that, for the regression suite automation tool. I've got some other best practices for this tool because, in fact, yeah, as I said, I already use it this week, so very recent. So as I said, yeah, launch your task recorder in the default dashboard at the first step. Really suggest, of course, as I said, to create a derived test case to test multiple parameters for multiple legal entities. You can also have some chaining test case. So it's really important because for this customer, we have, as you can see, we have a lot of trade and logistic process, but also, as you know, we have a lot of financial data that has been generated behind. So you want to pass every information of the purchase order and create a new task recorder that are related to this purchase order in finance part. So you can have like a whole process of your trade and logistic or your production order of all module you want, and you can have financial test case that are derivated, chaining coming from parameter. So you can have a chain case. So yeah, you can have it, and yeah, it's really important because of course, for like a trade and logistic, you have a lot of financial data that you want to check, transaction, voucher transaction, etc. So yeah, you can add it. So as I already mentioned, you have the validate field, so to check the value of a current value. I really suggest, of course, to have a delimited test case. You don't want to have one task recorder for the whole process, of course. So you have to, every time you have to split your process on multiple process, child process, I think. One more thing also on the task recorder, you can't test SSRS reports or whatever add-on you have implement. Like me, I work also on DOS-centric layout to extend the SSRS reports. So of course you can, in your task recorder, launch a report like an invoice. Of course, the task recorder will launch it, and if he doesn't have error, it will be great. But you can't test the layout. Of course, it's the automated test. You can't test layout, so you can just test that the report has been well printed technically, but not the layout. So be careful of that. And yeah, one more thing also on the regression suite automation tool. Don't test it to test data integration. If you have some interface, so you have in the data management framework, you have a test data integration test, I think, to test your integration. So don't use task recorder to test data integration, or maybe also don't use it to test, of course, performance test. So it's really to help you to know if there are some new bug for one simple test process. Okay, so this is the moment for my little surprise. So since, as you can see, I have my regression suite automation tool on my own laptop, on my computer. But yeah, in my mind, I say, but yeah, I don't want to launch the tool every time at 3 a.m. to test every process every day. So I want to automate the automation tool. So I said, oh, it's a legacy application, of course. So I say, but in Power Automate, we have the UI flow for that. So I create a UI flow. So UI flow, it's a new feature on Power Automate to record a particular step to your tool, like the regression suite automation tool. So you can record all the information of the tool, and you can when you implement the extension of on Power Automate, you can record all the steps of the record, and you can after, of course, set up a flow that will launch your UI flow. So in fact, for this customer, and you can also already see also on my blog, I've done also a flow on LCS to refresh my database from production to a UAT instance, because as I said, of course, you will launch your task recorder not in production. Of course, you will launch on the Sandbox instance, so like a UAT instance, but it's really helpful to, of course, have the latest build package of your code on the UAT, and of course to have all the same data as your production. Of course, if you want to really have the like if you are in production, it's like a real copy of your production. So here I've done a step by step. So it's not the purpose of this session, but you can go to my GitHub or my blog. I have all the sample if you want to refresh automatically your production to a Sandbox. And after, when the refresh is done for this UAT instance, I can launch my I can launch my UI flow that will launch, of course, the regression suite automation tools that I just showed you before, but it was manual. So I really wanted to after refresh database, to launch every night the regression suite automation tool by Power Automate. So thanks to the robotic process automation, RPA, so it's a new feature. So yeah, some MVP helped me on that to grab this new feature. But yeah, it's really helpful because here I can really have the whole process. Every night I refresh my production to UAT. Every night I launch after the regression suite automation tool app and test all my process. And as you will see before launching, so I can, like I said, do a recurrence, of course, every night. I can just launch my UI flow, and after I can call back Azure DevOps, because I don't know if you know, but you have 300 connectors on Power Platform now, not only for Microsoft. You have, of course, Microsoft, but not only. And you can, of course, you have a connector for Azure DevOps. So I can call my Azure DevOps, and every night I can send an email to me of the result. You know, so every morning, if you want to have like a report to know if every test has been okay or not, so you can, of course, you can do that with that. Yeah. So yeah, I think I hope you like it. Little surprise. So yeah, I really want, as you can see, for I think a lot of manual task. Sorry, you can easily with Power Automate, as the previous session of business event for the workflow. You can really go to the Power Platform. You can use a lot of things and do a lot of use case with the Power Platform. So now I have to go to for developers, because as I said, I just mentioned at the first step this two framework for. So this part is really for developer. Sorry for functional and project manager, but so yeah, this part is really to help developers. So you can have the both. Of course, you can have System framework or ETL and regression suite automation tool. You can do both. So really the aim, the goal for that is really to help developer to test all their developments, their custom developments, before archive every development they have done, and to test a module integration, of course. So, and you will see that when you can also, developer can also get your task recorder to easily, easily is, not very easily, but easily, import the task recorder in, you have in a Visual Studio, you have an add-in to import a task recorder, and it will generate all the code for the unit test. So it can help some developer to go faster to the unit test. But of course, the developer can create their own unit test. And as I said, you have a lot of documentation from Microsoft, so I will not spend a lot of times for this. But the goal, of course, at the end, when you have done all your unit test, maybe I can just show you directly to my blog. So you have the automate your test here. So at the end, I think so you can create a new model for that, just for your test. So it's really important, if you have one model of your own package of all your development, you can create a new one, separate one, when you have all your tests, and you will have a reference, of course, of your package, of your model. You have to be careful. You have a lot of reference to add, especially form adaptators. It's the package behind to test. We have all class needed for the test. And here, as you can see, you have the add-in to have import task recording. So the developer can import your task recording for the regression suite automation tool, but also in their Visual Studio to create very quickly. So as you can see, when you have done that, it generates a class for you when you have all the task recorder behind. But it's just one example. And after, in Visual Studio, it's a Visual Studio 2015. Yet we don't have the Visual Studio 2019 like CRM or Power Apps, or Azure. But soon I think we can develop. I think very soon on your local computer. So, but yeah, it's very helpful for developer to run all their tests directly in Visual Studio before archive all their development in the source control. So yeah, as you will see in my blog, I just mentioned, of course, the two documentation on the Microsoft. So yeah, and when you have done this kind of thing, you can, of course, in the end, in your build pipeline. I don't know if you have seen this morning in the Azure DevOps session, but here, no, I have to click on edit. It's better. So here you can set up at the end of your build package in your build instance, you can set up by exactly what I said, one test assembly when you have all developed all your unit test. So you can, every night, like me, every night generate a new package, build your package in your build instance, and after that, launch automatically all your developer unit testing. So yeah, I think I think it's the more I have to say. Maybe I can just for the end, we'll just have a look to the forms. Yeah, no more response, but I think as you can see, we have only 33 response, but yeah, we have one rollout of package in production. So if you do just one rollout, we have some customers that do a lot of. So this is great. If you are like me, you want to, it's like Microsoft. Microsoft doing one, as you can see, Microsoft deploy a new version for ERP. If you have sent me this kind of this kind of thing. I think if you have going from AX 2012, when you had one upgrade every year or every 2 years, so now we have one upgrade every month. So yeah, it's really if you want to deploy hotfix or new feature very quickly, and you have a really common continuous integration, continuous deployment, yeah, you have really to go to regression suite automation tool. You can't say to a customer that you need to, if you want to have 4 deployments every month, you can't say that you have to spend, like I said, 1 or 2, 3 or 5 people every that will spend like 3 or 5 days every month. So because at the end it costs, of course, for the customer. So yeah. Okay, great. And so the opinion behind for you, it's really the cost, yeah, at the start. So my little, I don't have 1 year of experiences about regression suite automation tool, but still I've got few customers that I implement this tool. And yeah, the setup, I think, if the main thing really is really to have a good task recorder. So if you want to jump to this tool, really be careful. Don't record everything, and at the end test if it's okay to the tool. Just test one little task recorder. Try to sync to Azure DevOps. Try to launch your tool, regression suite automation tool, and know if it's okay. And after you can go deeper and deeper. So, and of course you can test critical process, of course, with this tool. And for the manual and for the rest, for the exception process, for the particular process, you can just maybe doing at the start just manual, and at the end in 1 year, of course, try to also automate. But you can do it, step by step. So the customer can really have some critical process that has been automated testing. Yeah, they don't know that is possible. So hope, of course, you will share to your customer or your colleagues that has not been there today, of course, to know that. And nobody responds this this response. Yeah, it's testing is for the week. So yeah. Okay, so I think I've done, but no, if I've done, I will of course respond all your question if you have some question for the 5 minutes left.
Yeah, thanks again, Aurélien. And look, you discussed you were going to cover RSAT. You ended up covering not only RSAT, we also covered obviously a bit of UI flows and
Yeah.
So that was really good. That was really, really good. So there are questions. One of the questions is to do with the test user, which is the user that you specify to run the tests.
Yeah. Good question. Yeah. Sorry, I spent not very long. You can set up here in your parameter file which user you want to test and in which legal entity, in which legal company. So you have to, of course, it's great because you can, as I said, create derived test case to test one process with multiple, if you want to have to check your security behind, because you have some custom roles and you want to test your process with multiple test user, you can do that, yeah.
The next question is related to what security role would you need to have to run the test? Well, obviously let you answer that one. But yeah, they're asking what security role would you require?
I don't get it. Sorry.
Well, imagine you're running a test. I think the question is basically, when you're setting up your users, all your user roles, how would you use this so that your security roles are also tested? Because often that's one of the test scripts, isn't it, to make sure that user can access something. How would you set up your user tests so that each security role is tested based on each persona?
Yeah, of course. So if you launch your test recorder with the like I said, with this kind of this user, if I want, I can go directly to the system administration user, and he will launch the test as if it was this user. So he will launch after the automate tool will launch the test, every part, all the process with this user. Without, of course, to logging. We have you don't need to have the password of the user. It will have on behalf of the test user, with, of course, all their security role. So really, the regression suite automation tool can, of course, test also your security purpose. Yeah.
And the final question is, what would be the initial cost to set this up?
Yeah, good question. So yeah, the tool is free. First, it's important, but the tool, you just have to download it on the Microsoft documentation. As I said, the only cost for the license part is only for the Azure DevOps, when you have to pay £50, €50, $50 per user that want to have the test plan here feature. But really, as I said, you just need to have one account with this kind of thing. So you don't need to have all your Azure DevOps user to have the test plan feature. And after, of course, you have the cost to ask every functional or key user to to record the process, to record the task recorder. So for that, it depends on how many you have process behind in an ERP. But as I said, you have to going step by step, not record every process at the first, and you can go add every. As I said, when you have a new task recorder, you just have to go to the business process model in LCS and add this new, as I mentioned at first, you can add a process during your life cycle of your project. So, of course, if you have also new developments, you can edit. Just one part for that. I just didn't mention that, but you can upload your previous task recorder and change only necessary steps if you have new developments to test. So if you have new developments, you don't have to record all the process. You can just grab your previous version and just modify the only part you want for that.
Great stuff. So obviously, we are up to the end of the hour now. Now you do have another session. So quick question, Aurélien, would you like a 5-minute break before you start the next session?
Yeah, 1 or 2 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll play a little video from Microsoft, and then we can start your next session. So it'll be about 3 minutes long. Yeah, 3 or 4 minutes long.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks